The lunchroom smelled of stale pizza and cleaning solution, but to Mia, it reeked of dread. Her sneakers squeaked against the linoleum as she clutched her tray, eyes darting for an empty seat. At 14, Mia was a shadow in Jefferson High's crowded halls, a shy girl with hunched shoulders and a habit of hiding behind her curtain of dark hair. Today, though, the air felt heavier. A ripple of snickers followed her, and her stomach twisted. She didn't see it coming, but the moment she sat down, a plastic dog bowl clattered onto her tray, spilling her food. Laughter erupted. "Eat like the mutt you are, Mia," sneered Jessica, the queen of the sophomore clique, her glossed lips curling. Mia froze, her cheeks burning, as the entire cafeteria seemed to turn and stare. Mia's world had always been quiet, built on books and soft-spoken dreams. She loved sketching wildflowers in her notebook, each petal a silent rebellion against the chaos of high school. But Jefferson High was a jungle, and Jessica's pack, her court of sharp-tongued girls, ruled it. They'd targeted Mia since freshman year, when she stammered through a class presentation and earned the nickname Mutt. It started with whispers, then notes slipped into her locker, and now this, a dog bowl, its edges chipped, sitting on her tray like a public execution. Mia's hands trembled as she pushed it away, but Jessica leaned in, her perfume sharp. "Go on, Mia. Eat. Or do you need a leash too?" The crowd hooted, phones flashing to capture her humiliation. Mia's heart pounded, but she didn't cry. She never did, not in front of them. Crying was surrender, and Mia, though quiet, had a stubborn streak. She stood, her tray wobbling, and walked out, the dog bowl clattering to the floor. The laughter chased her into the hallway, where she sank against a locker, her breath ragged. She didn't know how to fight back. Her mom, a nurse who worked nights, always said, "Kindness wins, Mia." But kindness felt like a flimsy shield against Jessica's cruelty. What Mia didn't know, as she hugged her knees in that empty corridor, was that this moment would spark a chain of events that would turn her world upside down, and Jessica's too. At home, Mia's silence was louder than usual. Her dad, Chief Daniel Harper, noticed it over dinner. A broad-shouldered man with a calm voice, he led Jefferson's police department with a steady hand. He wasn't the kind to flaunt his badge, and Mia never mentioned him at school. She liked keeping her life private, a habit born from years of moving towns due to his job. "You okay, kiddo?" he asked, his fork pausing over his plate. Mia nodded, forcing a smile. She didn't want to burden him. He dealt with enough: burglaries, DUIs, the occasional meth bust. A teenager's lunchroom drama seemed trivial. But Daniel's eyes lingered, sensing the weight she carried. The bullying didn't stop. Over the next week, Jessica's taunts grew bolder. They tripped Mia in the hall, spilled juice on her sketchbook, and posted a video of the dog bowl incident online. It racked up views, each comment a knife. "Loser. Go back to the pound." Mia stopped eating lunch at school, hiding in the library instead. Her grades slipped, and her sketches, once vibrant, turned dark, jagged lines and storm clouds. She felt like she was shrinking, her world narrowing to the space between her fear and her silence. The challenge wasn't just surviving each day. It was holding on to who she was when everyone seemed determined to erase her. One day, Mia's best friend, Liam, caught her in the library. Liam was a lanky kid with a crooked grin and a knack for fixing computers. He'd been her friend since they bonded over a broken projector in 6th grade. "You can't let them win, Mia," he said, sliding her sketchbook back to her. "You're tougher than this." Mia shook her head. "I'm not. They're everywhere." Liam frowned, his usual jokes replaced by something fiercer. "Then we make them stop." He didn't know how yet, but his words planted a seed. Mia wasn't alone, even if it felt that way. The turning point came on a rainy Tuesday. Jessica and her crew cornered Mia in the gym locker room. No phones this time, just malice. They pushed her against the lockers, the dog bowl reappearing in Jessica's hands. "Eat, mutt," she hissed, shoving it toward Mia's face. Something snapped. Mia's fear boiled into anger, and she knocked the bowl away, its clatter echoing. Jessica laughed, but her eyes flickered with surprise. Mia ran, her sneakers slipping on the wet pavement outside, her heart racing with a mix of terror and defiance. She didn't know it, but a janitor had seen everything, and he knew Chief Harper. That night, the janitor, Mr. Ruiz, called Daniel. A soft-spoken man who'd worked at Jefferson High for 20 years. He'd seen Mia grow up in the town's small circles. He didn't gossip, but he couldn't stay silent. "Chief, your girl's in trouble," he said, describing the locker room incident. Daniel's jaw tightened. He thanked Mr. Ruiz, hung up, and found Mia in her room, sketching furiously. "Mia," he said gently, sitting on her bed. "Talk to me." The dam broke. Mia sobbed, spilling everything. The dog bowl, the video, the endless taunts. Daniel listened, his face unreadable, but his fists clenched. He hugged her, promising, "This ends now." Daniel didn't storm the school with sirens blazing. That wasn't his way. Instead, he met with Principal Carter the next morning, his badge tucked away, but his authority clear. The principal, a nervous man who avoided conflict, promised to investigate. Daniel also called Jessica's parents, who were shocked but defensive, insisting their daughter was just joking. Mia, meanwhile, faced a new challenge: fear of retaliation. If Jessica got in trouble, would it get worse? Liam, ever loyal, stayed close, brainstorming ways to help. "What if we expose them?" he suggested. "Not with fists, with proof." Mia hesitated. Fighting back felt like stepping into a spotlight she'd always avoided. The school's investigation moved slowly, hampered by Jessica's charm and her crew's lies. But Liam had an idea. He'd recorded audio of the locker room incident on his phone, hidden in his gym bag. It wasn't much, but it was evidence. Jessica's voice, clear and cruel. Mia was terrified to share it, afraid of being labeled a snitch. "They'll hate me more," she whispered. Liam shook his head. "They already hate you. Let's make it mean something." With Daniel's guidance, they gave the recording to Principal Carter, who could no longer ignore the truth. Jessica and her friends faced suspension. The school mandated community service and counseling, but the real consequence came from the town. Jefferson was small, and word spread fast. Jessica's parents, prominent in local business, faced whispers at the grocery store. The video of the dog bowl incident was taken down, but not before it reached the local news, framed as a story about bullying's impact. Mia's name was kept out, but Jessica's wasn't. The queen's crown was tarnished, and her clique fractured as some girls, guilt-ridden, apologized to Mia in private. Mia's biggest challenge wasn't the bullies, it was rebuilding herself. The attention made her skin crawl, and she hated being the center of the story. But Daniel and Liam kept her grounded. Daniel taught her to box in their garage, not to fight, but to feel strong. "You're not a victim, Mia," he said. "You're a survivor." Liam, meanwhile, helped her start a school art club, a safe space for kids like them. Slowly, Mia's sketches brightened, wildflowers creeping back into the margins. She began eating in the cafeteria again, her tray free of dog bowls, her laughter soft but real. The resolution wasn't perfect. Jessica returned after her suspension, quieter but not reformed. Some kids still whispered about Mia, but others rallied around her, drawn to her quiet strength. She learned to speak up, not just for herself, but for others who felt invisible. At a school assembly, she shared her story, not the details, but the feeling of being small and finding her voice. The room was silent, then erupted in applause. Mia blushed, but she stood taller. By spring, Mia wasn't a shadow anymore. She was a girl who drew wildflowers, who laughed with Liam, who hugged her dad a little tighter. The bullies had tried to break her, but they'd only made her stronger. Her story spread beyond Jefferson, inspiring others to stand up, to be kind, to fight for themselves. Mia didn't want to be a hero, but she became one anyway, proving that even the shyest hearts can roar.